Good morning and welcome to my channel, Stitches with Love. My name is Elizabeth and this is my corner of the internet where I share all about my knitting adventures on and off the needles. And today I'm not really specifically talking about the needles and the knitting, but I do want to share with you a few of my favorite things. I've been inspired recently to do a video of that sort of nature, and I thought it would just be kind of fun to share them publicly. So if that's something that might interest you, grab a cup of something cozy and let's get started. Mm. All right, so the first favorite thing I want to share is my coffee. I love coffee. I really enjoy the ritual of putting it together, getting it ready. Um, Ideally, I get up early in the morning to enjoy it before the rest of my family gets up. But what really happens is I get up early to enjoy it, and then everybody else is already up, or they get up shortly after. So it can be a bit of a challenge to really enjoy good hot coffee by myself with no interruptions. But that is one of my very favorite things. And what I'm going to share with you today are things that I use every day to bring just a little bit of joy, a little pleasure to my life. And they're very simple things. I don't need really fancy, expensive, name brand anything in my life to bring me a bit of happiness. But I thought it would be fun to share with you those simple joys I do indulge in. Coffee is definitely at the top of the list. I always have my coffee in a coffee cup. Not necessarily this one. This is actually my newest one. I picked it up secondhand for just a couple of dollars. This is, however, my favorite Disney princess. But having a good coffee cup to enjoy my coffee or my tea in is something I really enjoy. It has to be just the right size because I do not like to drink large amounts of anything, and certainly not my coffee. It just seems like it's not enjoyable after a certain amount, and it's overwhelming. So, a nice size, it has to have a good hand fit. And it just has to feel really comfortable and not be a weird shape or anything. And so, coffee cups and coffee go together like peanut butter and jelly. All right, I'm going to set this aside for a moment while I show you the rest of my things. While we're on the subject of beverages and beverageware, this is my other favorite thing. I don't usually jump on the bandwagon and go after the latest trend. But I did when that whole Stanley comeback thing was a thing. So I looked at these for a really long time before I decided whether or not I was actually going to buy one. Because in my mind, you can get these for like $5, $10, generic brand, everywhere else that you can buy a cup. But there seemed to be something very special about Stanley's. So I just wasn't sure it was worth the hype. Then I found this particular one. It did not come with all of the stickers. I added those on myself because they're just kind of fun and that just seems to be the thing to do. Um, so I bought the Stanley with this really pretty design. I would like to make a disclaimer. I did not pay full price for this cup. I think when I bought it, it was around $50, but I had been given a gift card for Amazon, so I used that to go toward my purchase. And somehow it just felt a little more justifiable to buy it because I wasn't spending a huge amount of money that I had worked hard for, because part of that was a gift. But I use this every day, and it really does live up to the all the hype. It keeps my iced beverages very cold for a couple of days at a time. The ice stays for hours, and I only use it for cold beverages. I don't use it for anything hot, but definitely worth it. And it fits in my cup holder really nicely. It's a great size. This is the 40 ounce that I purchased because I'm really trying to up my water intake. Um, and this just makes it really fun. I do have a couple of Starbucks tumblers. You've seen them before here on the channel, I'm sure, that I also really enjoy. But I find that if I'm struggling to do something, if I make it a little more fun, a little more interesting, it's a lot easier. And so if I have a fun cup of some sort from my water, it's a lot easier for me to stay hydrated and keep up with those goals. And if you're on the fence about getting a Stanley, it really is worth all the hype. But watch for sales because you can get really good deals if you know where to go. All right, another thing I use absolutely every day, and I'm sure this is very shocking to you, is my knitting. I am very rarely not knitting. I take it everywhere I go. And there are some days when I only get a few stitches in, or I might not be able to do any at all, and that's okay. But having some kind of project on the needles with me at all times brings me a lot of joy. It's a very favorite thing for sure. It's right up there under my coffee, probably number 2 on the list. The second would be, along with the knitting theme, are these ChiaoGoo needles. I have tried many different needles over the years, and these are by far the best and my favorite to use. At some point, I will probably do a video dedicated just to my knitting needles. I'm not going to do that here, but these are my favorite knitting needles. They're wonderful. They're absolutely fabulous. I have nothing bad to say about them. And then, of course, I need to keep all of my knitting contained somehow. And so I have a number of these little pouches. The zipper style is my favorite because I like the look better and they just seem a little more efficient. Um, but having a really good knitting pouch brings me a lot of enjoyment in my knitting life. All right, another favorite thing, and this seems so kind of funny to share. Not funny like haha, but just kind of silly. But these notebooks and these pens specifically, these are the Pilot writing pens. You can get them at any office supply store. You can get them anywhere you buy office supplies, like Fred Meyer, Safeway, whatever. And then these spiral notebooks that everybody had in their school days. I make lots of lists. I am always writing things down. There's plenty of room to write things out that I need to do. And these just really help me stay on task each day with what I need to get done. It helps me have a visual. And then when I'm done with something, I can scratch it out and I feel very accomplished. Sometimes I forget I have this, so I don't always look at it every day, but having it right there in an area where I spend a lot of time is very helpful. And then these pens, there's nothing super special about them. They're just a pen, really. But I like the tips on them. They write really smoothly. They come in lots of different colors, and they're just a comfortable pen. And for somebody who is constantly writing lists, and I have a desk job, so I'm always writing things down, it's just really nice to have a really good pen. So these are what I use almost exclusively simply because I like the way they write. They last a long time and they have a very comfortable feel in my hand. All right, moving along. I'm almost done. I hope this isn't boring to you. And if it is, that's okay. I won't be offended if you turn me off and go do something else. But I love to see what other people enjoy in their lives, what their favorite things are. So that's what I'm doing here today. All right, now let's talk about self-care. It's very important that you take care of yourself, and that you find things to do that you can just kind of pamper once in a while. So for me, that's going to look a little different than other people. I love me a good warm bubble bath with a new book, but that's not something I do on a daily basis. It's really not even something I do all that often. But I do have a few things I indulge in each day that might not seem pampering, but they feel like it to me. So the first thing is really good dark chocolate. I love 85% and higher dark chocolate. When it goes on sale, I stock up and I put it in my freezer, and it lasts me a very long time because I'm really only eating like 2 squares at a time. And it's just an enjoyable little treat. And so I enjoy having really good quality dark chocolate on hand at all times as a little pick me up after lunch or later in the afternoon when I'm at work. I might have it with another cup of coffee or a cup of tea at my desk, and it's just enjoyable. And then the other couple of things I'm going to show, again, maybe a little bit odd, but to me, they're very helpful. So I work with my hands. I have a desk job. I'm always typing. I'm constantly writing things out. I work in a public building, and so there's lots of germs everywhere. And so I'm constantly washing my hands. I'm constantly sanitizing, wiping things down. And then when I'm at home, I'm always doing a load of dishes. I'm always doing the laundry, which I just realized I never actually started. Shoot. Um, I started filling the laundry machine and then I never put the laundry in. I'll have to fix that later. We'll finish this first. So, needless to say, my hands are always a mess. So, I use this lotion exclusively. It's Vaseline Intensive Care. I use this one, and then they have a yellow bottle that I call their original formula, but I don't think that's actually what it is. But it is by far the best hand lotion I have found. And it's not just for hands, you can use it all over the body too to moisturize. Um, and it's just wonderful. It's really not greasy, it soaks in quickly, and it really helps nourish and heal my hands, especially this time of year when the weather is so dry and cold. And my hands tend to crack and bleed and just get really sore. But since using this, I really have not had that issue nearly as often, and it's been wonderful. So, if you are looking for a new hand cream, something for your body lotion to stay moisturized, I really recommend Vaseline's intensive care line. And I'm not sponsored by them by any means. I just want to tell you that I think their products are amazing and I have really enjoyed them over the years and probably won't use anything else. The last self care item, maybe not self care, personal care might be a better term for it, but I use a lot of lip balm. I go in and out all day long. I'm always on the go. I'm always talking. I'm always, doing something. And so I find that my lips often get really chapped and really dry, especially this time of year, because I still go outside this time of year. I'm still taking walks. I'm still working out in the garden. I'm still doing things. And so it's just as important to keep the lips hydrated and moisturized as all the rest of the skin. So I use these two particular chapsticks, not specifically these flavors, but Burt's Bees and then the Chapstick brand. Those are the only two lip balms that I use. And they do come in 100 different flavors. That's not as important to me as the actual products themselves. I find that these work really well. They last a really long time. Most nights before I go to bed is when I'm doing all of my moisturizing, um, so that everything just really soaks in the evenings. And I can put this on and still wake up with really soft, nourished lips in the morning. Um, I do like the Chapstick brand and the Burt's Bees also because in addition to being really hydrating and moisturizing, they do have some that have a bit of a tint of color. And I like a little tint of color because I don't wear lipstick, like traditional lipstick. So I like the look as well as the benefits. So I think that is really all I have to share. There are a lot of other things I really enjoy that are my favorite things, but these are what I thought of immediately that I use on a daily basis that just kind of help me get through the day because it helps me stay organized, or it helps me feel a little bit pampered, or it helps me, just have a little bit of joy and pleasure at some point in my day. So I'm really curious, what do you all have? Do you have any favorite things that you use maybe every day or at least several times a week? What are those small, simple pleasures that you enjoy? I would love to hear from you. You can put those in the comments below this video. And if you are interested in any other videos that I post, go ahead and subscribe. It's all one word on the YouTube search bar, at Stitches with Love, the little at symbol. And then my name is Elizabeth. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you have a lovely Tuesday. Happy knitting, many blessings, and I'll see you next time.